Last week, we released our latest white paper, Leading Through Crisis. This is a toolkit that we've built for managers, for leaders, and of course for business owners to help them navigate through times of uncertainty. We hope that the 10 top tips that we share are something that you can implement straight away and that will help you lead more effectively during these times. A quick recap of the 10 tips are: 1, it starts by leading yourself. Quite often we need to first look inward before we can start to look outward and see how we can be in service. So as leaders, it will take time for us to really tune out so that we can tune in with our own experience, our own emotions, perhaps looking at our own triggers or our innate preferences, so that we can then be in best service, not only of ourselves, but also of the people around us. Number 2 is about holding purpose. We always talk about inspiring leaders and leaders that are gregarious and charismatic and out there talking about amazing, uplifting visions. But right now, one of the most effective things that you can do as a leader is to really navigate the business and your team around the why. What is it that we're all here for? Why are we all continuing to do this? What is this in service of? And creating a container for people to feel that they are being held around that purpose and supported in the way that you navigate towards it. Number 3 is about creating certainty in uncertainty. If you talk to most managers, they'll flinch at the thought of micromanagement, and certainly I'm not suggesting that we strip autonomy away from people, but rather, as humans, we have an innate need for clarity, for concrete expectations, for boundaries. And so as leaders, the best thing we can do is to create structures that support our team during this time, rituals, rhythms, be very clear, reduce any ambiguities, and support them by being very upfront about the expectations that you have. Really essentially, number 4 is communicate. Communicate clearly, consistently, often, and of course, calmly. It's amazing how much people can interpret about your message beyond just the words that you're sharing. So be mindful of the way that you want to communicate and make sure that you're in front of your team, being as transparent as you can be and speaking consistently. Number 5 is demonstrate compassion. This is about really listening, asking what is needed, being in service of people, creating a safe container for people to share what it is that they're going through, not solutioning for them, but rather seeing how you as a leader can absorb and listen to some of those experiences and find ways that you can from there take action. Focus on optimism, resilience, and agility. Simon Sinek talks about optimism as being different from positivity, and we're certainly not talking about false positivity here. Optimism is about saying, I believe in our business, I believe in our purpose, and I am committed to us realizing that. And resilience is a business and a team's ability to bounce back after adversity or to bounce back after failure. So your role here is to instill a culture of agility, of resilience, of we can learn quickly from our mistakes, which leads us in very well into tip 7, which is about getting scrappy, trying and testing. Scrappiness is about leveraging all the tools at your disposal, leaning on the collective wisdom of your team. And this is about experimentation. This is about being bold enough to brainstorm, to try things out, to really embrace the concept of failing quickly and learning even more quickly. Tip 8 is be swift and decisive. There are undoubtedly going to be tough decisions that you as a leader have to make. And the best thing that you can do once you have that information, once you've leveraged the data, the insights of the team, is make those decisions swiftly, decisively, and muster your leadership courage. 9, be authentic and vulnerable. People know when leaders are not sharing everything or when they're being insincere, putting on a mask. The most authentic leaders are people that are real about who they are. They share what they stand for, and they're open to people seeing that, even if it's difficult. So lean into that authenticity, be vulnerable with people. And finally, but really importantly, of course, you're going to need to be focused on what is right in front of you, the current state challenges. But your role as a leader is also to be looking at the horizon, to see the forest through the trees, to be looking to the future, to understand what is a permanent change, perhaps, that our business is going to have to move forward around. How can we continue to be a market leader or even a market disruptor? What is this all going to look like in the future? And how can I build strategic planning and make sure that our business is prepared to really take those future opportunities on? So those are our 10 top tips. We hope that they're practical and useful for you and something that you can implement straight away. Download our white paper if you want more information, or get in touch with us to see how we can support you, your team, or your business during these unprecedented times. Otherwise, stay safe, be well, and speak soon.